think, U.S. title, you know. So to have that chance, I mean, obviously I say it every damn interview, but this is the biggest match of my life, again. So, it's huge.
What are your thoughts on your own development as a person and as a wrestler since leaving the auspices of World Wrestling Entertainment?
I think that I am just now more confident, and it's the New Japan system and the New Japan atmosphere is better for me. I don't do really good when I'm like, oh God, if I walk to the right here, I might get fired. I can't perform like that in a thing where you have to be creative and be yourself and let your personality shine through. That's what pro wrestling is, right? I can't do that when I'm scared if I'm gonna get fired. I just remember always like constantly judging myself as I was doing things, like, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
outside of my head, watching myself, oh, that sucks. And it's just not for me.
I was just out in Daytona for CEO. You were out there. What was your take on just how did you think the show went, and just do you think that is a good sort of way for New Japan to sort of cross over and build more fans, is doing events like that? With the
Yeah,
local community?
I mean, I thought it was really cool because it reminded me, we did some Australian shows maybe a few months ago, and it was kind of the same, like pretty bigger, like big arenas. It was like 3,000-4,000 people. I don't know how many were at the CEO thing, but it was cool. It was professional. It was in Daytona, but yeah, there's a crossover obviously with people who love video games and people who love pro wrestling, and it was great. What was your question though? I didn't
Just to say,
answer.
do you think that's a good way to build the New Japan brand and sort of get more fans involved? Is it, people there to maybe watch Street Fighter, but there's this crazy, awesome wrestling show going on.
And now maybe they're a fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime you can get more fans, yeah, I think it's great.
You talk about getting more fans. After leaving WWE, what does it feel like to kind of look back? Have you ever looked back at your matches with the WWE and thinking, man, who in God's name is that? To where are you now thinking, all these people that looked at me before have seen this new side of me. So what does that feel like?
I don't watch anything that I did
Yeah.
NXT because I just want it to go away. But I just now being myself and like going out there and just being Joe Robinson, but just Juice is the name, but I'm just me, you know. And it's so much easier when you don't have to like pretend to be something. Like I care about the planet and stuff. Like everybody, I care about it.
California.
I'm not. Yeah, right. But that wasn't me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like being a jerk, you know. But now it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just me. Some people are gonna hate me. That's all right. Some people are gonna like me. So it's really feels good to be able to just be yourself. That's what New Japan's letting me do. So it's cool.
So, doing the back and forth thing, like one thing that usually catches a lot of wrestlers who go to Japan is the difference in the crowds. Like how we're in the United States, it's rah-rah, and then it's Japan, it's respectful, and then pops. How was your experience adjusting to the Japanese crowds?
Well, you know, it didn't take me that long, really. I know that sounds weird. It's not because I'm this amazing pro wrestler, but it's just like, oh, yeah, I've always heard that. They don't make a lot of noise in Japan, but they do. And then you just learn, like, oh, in Japan, man, if somebody grabs you for a belly to back suplex and you flip and land on your feet, you're going to go, whoa! You know, that's just it. You learn little tricks along the way. I love the Japanese crowds. They're cool. And, like, even when something bad's happening to me and it's hurting and stuff, they feel it, they know it, and you could hear like the noise that they give off is so cool.
No, and I always thought of it as like this an elevated, because I grew up in half Asian,
It's
half
just
American
grows,
family.
grows,
No, it's just like a respect thing, and that's what I thought.
Yeah, as far as the audience, very polite.
Yeah.
And the other thing, everybody knows what it is, right? They want to go along for the ride.
Get lost.
That's what I like too, you know. You don't, and they love that.
Mhm.
They're here. Oh, we're gonna watch. They know it's a show, but it's they want to be polite, and I don't know. It's how I think pro wrestling should be. How I wish it was everywhere. Well, you know, U.S. crowds are cool too.
Yeah.
It's just turned into this completely different animal. That I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. When I would go back and watch wrestling from like when I was a kid, like 98, 99. The crowd makes such different noises nowadays.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went to WrestleMania as a fan. I sat in the crowd and watched that whole damn 7 hours. And now it's just like, oh. It's cool. I mean, as long as people are entertained, but it's just so different.
Mhm.
So
Juice, they say that nice guys finish last. You're obviously a nice guy. You're in there tomorrow with Switchblade, seemingly not a nice guy. What's your plan to climb that mountain to get your first New Japan gold?
I'm gonna roll a motherfucker up. No, but I'm not that nice of a guy. I'm okay, whatever. But yeah, well, I'm gonna fight tomorrow. We're gonna fight. It's gonna. I think it's good. You're not gonna, like I said, you're not gonna see any Ricky Steamboat arm drags. You know, you're not gonna see any tackle drop down. Get it again tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be, you know, it's gonna hurt. But it's gonna be fun. And I don't know. So yeah, to answer your question, I'm gonna try to hit him with. Well, I can't use the left hand of God, as he said, but I'm gonna try to hit my finisher. Or I'm gonna try to roll a motherfucker up. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Bret Hart rolled everybody up. Great.
How's not swearing going?
What's that?
How's not swearing?
It's just part of my lexicon. I don't have many words. Fuck is one of them. I'm sorry.
Bleep.
No need to apologize.
Were you gonna ask?
Oh yeah. You were talking about the difference with American and Japanese crowds. Is it different to get ready to perform for New Japan Pro Wrestling for an American crowd? What's that kind of merging dichotomy thing like?
I get nervous, really nervous every time because I'm like, oh my god, they're just gonna see CJ Parker and boo me out of this Cow Palace. So it's scary. And I'm really comfortable in front of the Japanese crowd at this point. Like, I feel comfortable. I kind of know what they expect from me, and I know what to expect from them. If you know what I mean. But I don't know what to expect. Every time I wrestle in front of American crowds or European crowds, I'm always like, oh, they're gonna hate me. So I don't know. Tomorrow, I have no idea how they're gonna be. I think that at this point, enough of the stuff that I've done in Japan, people have seen it. At least they know that I'm not shitty little developmental CJ Parker anymore.
Yeah.
So hopefully I have a little bit of, not respect, but little. Hopefully they cheer me a little.
So Juice, what does it mean for you as far as, I think the big theme amongst everyone here today is that they're super excited to be part of this historical event tomorrow at the Cow Palace. And so what does it mean for you to be part of this new chapter of New Japan Pro Wrestling, to be expanding here in the US, and it's just gained so much attention all around the world. So for you to be a part of this ride, yeah, what does it mean for you?
Dude, it's so cool. It's so great because I have no idea what the hell they're doing. I know they're coming over here. I have no idea how big this is gonna get. I really wanted to get real big, and for me to have a match tomorrow at the Cow Palace would be cool. To have a match that's like the semi-main event is huge. It's exciting and it's unpredictable. I have no idea where we're going, but I know it's somewhere cool. And it's just gonna get bigger and bigger. And I think wrestling purists are just, I can't see it ever changing, because if you love pro wrestling the way I like pro wrestling, you're gonna watch New Japan over the other guys. I mean, you get one real cool match on Monday Night Raw, I feel. But other than that, it's a bunch of silly stuff. Sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, wrestling's entertaining too. New Japan Pro Wrestling is sports entertainment too, I think. Wrestling has always been sports entertainment.
It's entertainment.
Yes. Yeah. I always thought that.
So, one thing you did point about was the whole walking on eggshells thing in the past.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, one cool thing about your story, to make a WWE analogy, like Kalisto, back when he was on Raw and when he's on 205 Live now, it looks like, people seem to perform better when they're simply having fun. But to sidetrack that a little bit, what's the most fun thing about being in Japan right now for you?
My gosh. Well, now that I've been there about 3 years, I'm starting to finally be like, all right, I don't have to get hammered every night. I don't have to go out and stay up late every night at sponsored dinners and just drink and scream karaoke and go crazy. So I'm starting to settle down there. I actually got a Nintendo Switch finally. I'm trying to really keep myself in my hotel room. But just the wrestling, just the fact that once or twice a tour, we're in front of big ass crowds. Big sold out shows. The wrestling is just so fun. I love wrestling. I love getting on the bus, driving.
What are your? Oh, sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
no.
What are your thoughts on older wrestlers that there's not enough story and character nowadays, in wrestling, and it's more based on moves and athletic performance, but not the character and story. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with him 100%. I feel like that I don't know, it's great stuff, right? But it seems like a lot of the same stuff. Like I went to WrestleMania New Orleans and did like a bunch of, I don't know, where I had to do like WrestleCon, I don't know what it was, but I did a few shows, right? A few independent shows, and I watched a lot of matches. And it's like, man, if I see one more dude do a fake damn dive into a cartwheel round off, like, ooh, look at me, I'm gonna just jump off this, wherever I was sitting, it was high. I was gonna kill myself. It's like, I don't know, I don't really like that kind of, I like that kind of wrestling, like, I love it, but I like the characters and the story, and it doesn't take that many moves. I like the intensity and stuff behind wrestling. I agree with the old timers that say that in a lot of ways. Not in every case, not everybody's like that, but there are a lot of guys that are just, as I guess I would say, move guys. Cool, though. A lot of fans love that shit. I don't care about it, though. I like the stories and like, oh, I don't know. You know what I like. That's what gives you the feels, you know, the costumes, the character. What's this guy gonna say? What's this guy gonna do? You know, that stuff. Like, this guy has an identity. I know what a Kenny Omega is. You know what I mean? He does all the moves, but he's not. He tells stories too. Like, yeah, there is a lot of move guys. I'm sorry, you asked. Yeah, too many move guys. I agree with the old timers. Yeah, to put it plain and simple.
Do you think that maybe it's sort of the source in a company like WWE where you get like more of the fan rebellion because they don't have those characters to invest in? So why am I supposed to cheer this guy just because I'm told to for reasons?
Man, I think that the big thing with maybe that WWE is they're not letting just. It seemed like when we used to watch, like, Stone Cold got over and then he was the guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, you, the handsome 6'4" guy in the back who's jacked as hell, you're gonna be the top guy, and regardless of what the audience says, we're just gonna make you the top guy. We're gonna do it until they accept it. Well, I don't know if that works. I think it's better off just like, okay, everybody go. Oh, this guy's getting over. These guys kind of aren't. This guy's really getting over. Maybe this guy should be the guy that we push. That's what I think. I don't know if I even came close to answering your question,
you did.
but I think that's kind of the problem with it. When I watch it, it's like, man, it's like they've really wanted certain guys to, like, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work, and you can't force it. It doesn't need to be forced. Somebody's gonna get over, push that guy. Like Daniel Bryan, that's why I love that Daniel Bryan stuff so much a few years ago. Man, he refused to not be over. Eventually they're like, fine. You will be in WrestleMania in the main event. Oh, we can't deny him any longer. You know what I mean? And that's good shit.
Who do you feel you've learned the most from in the ring so far in your young career?
In Japan,
Overall.
oh, it's gotta be Tanahashi. And it's not even necessarily like it's not like he sits me down and is like, all right, and teaches me, like, I watch him and he leads by example. And then he does say little bits and pieces along the way. But I think he's got to be one of the top. And then Dusty Rhodes, too. As far as like talking and promos, and like, he believed like what wrestling is just about feeling and emotion. That's all. I want to be like that. So Dusty and Tanahashi.
Thank you.
You don't have to say any names, but does any of your old peers from the past hit you up and say, hey, you've done so well in New Japan, like, I'm not having fun anymore, how do I get there? Like, what can I do to take your route, you know?
Dude, if you knew, so many of my friends, it's like, I get messages all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, man,
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you in 3 years. All of a sudden,
You wanna know
all of a sudden, yeah, we're good friends, but all of a sudden you don't work there. I get a giant, well, it looks like he's looking to get a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot when, people, that's what you do in wrestling.
Yeah.
Well, lost my job. I need a job. There's only like 4 places. He's my friend. We'll see what the weather is over there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it happens a lot. It becomes nauseating at times, but
No, I forget.
I'd be doing the same thing.
Did Matt Bloom hook you up? I forget.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like a perfect storm of. So Matt Bloom became my friend because it was like Sweet Tea or something, wrestling with Brody Fight, right? And then he would come down and do like an NXT show every once in a while. And then he slowly became like commentator of NXT. And I was doing that CJ Parker stuff, and I don't know, eventually we started talking about like Grateful Dead and like that kind of stuff. And we hit it off. We became friends. Then all of a sudden he was a coach. I was like, oh, this guy's a coach, but we already had that relationship. And then he became the head coach. And I had been talking about leaving for probably a year or so. And then when he had always said, well, if you ever do, you could wrestle or I could try to get you a look for New Japan. And I would always say, Jesus, get out of here. Me wrestle in New Japan? Because I didn't really, to be honest, at that point, I know a little bit about it, but I didn't know what to expect. I thought everybody was like Minoru Suzuki versus Yuji Nagata, and I was like, that's not my kind of wrestling. Little did I know, there's also Yanos and Taguchis and Tanahashis, and there's all kinds of everything in wrestling. It's the exact same shit, you know what I mean? But then sorry, I'm rambling, then the WrestleMania here happened, and I was doing WrestleMania Access, and I was out there wrestling, and they were inducting Fujinami into the Hall of Fame, so Tiger Hattori, Tsurubayashi, and a few other people were there, and I had already quit. Everybody knew I had quit. This was my last week, and I was just hanging out with my friends, and they're like, Hattori, you gotta watch this guy, man. He's just quit. Like, bring him to Japan. And then Hattori was like, oh man, he's good. Okay. And then fast forward 2 months, that's like how it was. It was just, luckily he walked by and watched the monitor when I was acting like a complete asshole in the ring though. I was like, Shawn Michaels was doing an autograph. This bothered me. I'm glad I had no idea that they were watching, and I was essentially doing like a job interview. I'm tuning up the band, calling myself Mr. WrestleMania Access because Shawn Michaels was doing an autograph signing. You know how those things, the access, like less than a football field away, but I was just being a complete asshole. And Hattori apparently thought it was okay.
I know that you joke a lot, and humor is a big part of your mentality and your style, but you know, and I know moving to Florida is one thing, but there's a lot of sacrifice in what you did too. Obviously, you said there aren't many promotions, but you could have stayed stateside. Can you talk about the sacrifices you made in moving to Japan?
Well, yeah, I don't have a house now. I don't live anywhere. I live in a bag, and I've lived in a bag now since I left WWE like 3 years ago. I live in a suitcase. So that is kind of weird, you know. I always am living in a suitcase. Even when I'm in Chicago at my dad's house, sleeping on a futon, there's my bag right there, pulling clothes out of it. So that's a bit of a sacrifice. I could have a girlfriend. I probably should have a girlfriend. I don't because I'm in Japan at all times, and so I should be starting a family. But there's a lot of shit that I should be doing right now in my life that I'm not doing because I love pro wrestling so much. But that'll all be fine one day. It'll all work out.
Everybody okay? Good? One more question? All right.
What games are you playing on the Switch?
Ooh.
Okay, the Zelda. I don't even know what it's called. The Winds
Breath
of
of
the
the
Earth or
Wild.
something. Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that's cool. That's gonna take me about 3 years.
Yeah.
'Cause if I haven't played video games since I was like 13. So I'm trying to stop drinking as much and train more and have something to do in the room. And that is gonna keep me busy. And then I got RBI baseball. It sucks, dude. It's terrible. I like the game, the baseball games where it's like the blue, red, and where you can make the ball move where you want it to move. That's the whole damn fun part of the game. And it's like an arcade piece of crap. I shouldn't have bought it.
The old school RB baseball?
Whatever RBI baseball 2018 for the Switch is totally sucks.
Yeah.
I would say don't waste your time. Do not buy it. Zelda, yeah.
So see the hand, how's it feeling?
Dude, it's actually starting to feel better in the last like week or so. For the first, it's been about 3 weeks. For the first week or week and a half, it just hurt all the time. Like it was constantly hurting. I probably shouldn't have been wrestling on it either, but the last week it's really gotten a lot better. I mean, I've been when I was home, I was trying to sleep like 12 hours a day. And I was trying to eat like so much, and I was taking like calcium and magnesium supplements, and just like icing and be like, please do good enough to where I don't have a shitty match in San Francisco, please. So I think it'll be okay, but it's still broken.
You ever think about venturing out in Chicago comedy scene?
Oh no, I could no You'd never be a stand-up.
Improv
Like
city, right?
improv. Oh, I would like to do that, to play around or something like that.
Chicago's improv.
Yeah.
stand-up
Oh, yeah, Second City and stuff like
Improv
that.
Olympic,
Yeah.
the Noise Theater.
I would be open to it. I never really thought about it though. I don't know if I'd be any good at it. What's that? Call it? Alright, I'll call it.
Bucket list match. You have a list. One person you'd love to wrestle.
And that's alive right now?
That's alive right now.
Oh, shit. Dream match.
Like dream match. If you could wrestle, Wrestle Kingdom next year against someone.
Okada. Shit.
Okada, yeah.
Yeah, he's the main man,
Yeah.
right?
Nice.
Anytime you're wrestling him at Wrestle Kingdom main event, you're doing good.
Very nice.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I want to wrestle Okada in main event of Wrestle Kingdom. I'm doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good bucket list.
Awesome.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time. They'll be watching tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
sweet. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
No problem, thank you.
I like that you're all full of color and then Jay just shows up in this white suit
know.
and that's it.
Like a real asshole. Not that I don't, but. Yeah.